What is up, guys? My name is Lex. Last night I played on Best Bet Jacksonville live stream, and today on my way back home to South Florida, I decided to stop off at a new location for this vlog. A new location for me, somewhere I've never been. Orange City Racing and Card Club. It's about half an hour from Daytona Beach, about a half an hour from Orlando. I've heard some good things about this place. They seem to have good action. I'm going to play some 2-5 no limit. Let's go. I walk into this racing and card club. It really has that Florida feel. I head over to the cage and buy $1,200 worth of poker chips, which is the max for this 2-5 game. A little bit deeper than normal 2-5s of a $1,000 cap. I like it. First hand, there's a call for $5. We're playing short-handed. I'm on the button with King 7 suited. I raised to $25. Back over here to the limper, who now limp re-raises me to $75. This is a very Florida thing. The old limp re-raise usually means aces, kings, and queens. I'm getting a very good price to call. It's only $50 more. He's got about $1,500 in his stack. I've got $1,200 in my stack. I'm in position. We're playing four-handed at the moment. I think I can call here. Let's see a flop, which we do see of Queen 7-4, 2 clubs. I flop second pair. Surprisingly, my opponent now checks over to me. With a pair, I could bet small here or check. I decide to check, and the turn card's the Jack of Diamonds. Now, after limp re-raising and checking the flop, my opponent bets $80. I feel like he's going to have ace-king here a lot of the time. Don't think he has aces and kings after he checks to me on the flop. Very likely he could have pocket queens, but I call here with my pair. Let's see what happens on the river, which is the Queen of Hearts. I really like this card. Less likely he has a queen. Less likely he has pocket queens. It should slow him down if he has aces and kings. But he doesn't slow down. He bets $130 back over to me. This is an older player. Is he ever bluffing in this situation? He limp re-raised me pre-flop. Could he have me beat? I don't know. I'm going to call and see. And he shows pocket fives. For a worse pair than me, the 7 is good. And we win a decent pot, picking off a small bluff right off the bat. After playing the Best Bet live stream last night in Jacksonville, I went back to the hotel and rewatched some of the poker hands that I played, and I do have to admit, I didn't feel like I played my best. Felt like I played a little bit too tight. Not really sure why, because the game was just a normal-sized game that I'm used to. I didn't feel like I was going with my gut when it came to decisions, and I'm going to try to change that today, hopefully play a little bit better. There's a $10 straddle in this hand. There's 2 calls for $10. Ace-10 offsuit short-handed, I raised to $50. I get 3 callers here. So we're going to the flop, $200 in the middle, Ace-10 to a 10-7-4, 2-heart board, flopping top pair, top kicker for me. When it checks to me, I bet $120. The small blind now check raises me to $260. Something that only a few people in the poker community can understand is the poker vlogger effect. And this happens to me sometimes when I'm playing in a room or playing at a table and someone sits down and they introduce themselves as someone who watches my poker channel. They say, hey, I watch your vlog. Hey, I like your videos. Hey, I see you on YouTube. And they sit down at the table. My opponent in this hand, the small blind, did in fact do this. He introduced himself, said he watches my videos, and now he's check raising me to $260. The poker vlogger effect is when someone who watches your videos and sees you recording tries to potentially play more action against you in order to try to make the vlog. Maybe they're trying to bluff you so they can show you. Maybe they're just trying to play a big pot. Maybe they're overplaying their hand because they think you're always bluffing. It's kind of a tough spot because it adds an extra dynamic to the hand. Well, I'm facing a small check raise out of position by my opponent. I have a very good hand, top pair, top kicker. Should I jam all in for his last $350, or should I call and allow to keep all of his bluffs in there? I think it's a close spot. Ace-10 is somewhat vulnerable on this board. Any overpair, overcard could be bad for me. Any heart could be bad for me. Go back and forth, but ultimately in position, I feel like calling is fine. Keeping his bluffs in there, which is what I do. The dealer collects our chips, puts them into the middle of the pot, and turns out the 5 of diamonds seems like a pretty safe card for me. The small blind decides now he wants to play for all of his chips.
All in. Call.
Once or twice, Lex.
Whatever you want, buddy.
Do it. 2.
Okay, it's your time.
Got there.
The first board, my opponent says he got there and shows Jack-8 of hearts for a flush. The second board, he misses, and we're going to chop this one up. Normally, I would only go once, especially at this game size, but because he asked me, because he watches my videos, I let him decide, and I guess I'm glad I did because we would have lost. The poker vlogger effect was definitely in effect in this hand. My opponent played his draw aggressively, and I'm glad he did, because if not, we would have ended up losing this hand if we made it to the river on the first run out. Either way, it was a fun hand. Chopping this one up with a vlog watcher, moving on to the next one. There's a call for $5. I peel back, ace-3 suited on the button. I bump it to $25, and my opponent makes the call. Same player from the first hand with pocket fives, where he tried to bluff me, and I had king-7 suited. We go heads up here in position to Jack-8-6 2 spades. Flopping the nut flush draw for me, I bet $20, and my opponent makes the call. Turn card pairs the board. It's a 6. Probably a good card for him, but also a good card for me as well. Kind of unlikely he has a 6. Kind of unlikely I have a 6. I think it's close between checking here or betting. I do continue to bet. I want to build a pot with a hand as strong as mine. The nut flush draw, 1 over card. My opponent makes a pretty quick call again. Going to the river, we do not hit our flush, but we do make top pair with an ace. And surprisingly enough, now my opponent leads into me for a $130 bet. Now this is the same sizing he used when he was bluffing with pocket fives. Is he bluffing again? Does he have a strong hand? Does he have a 6, a full house, a jack? He shouldn't have an ace here very often. I don't think I can ever fold my hand. I think raising would be too thin. So I just flick in the call, and he shows 8-9 of diamonds for a pair of 8s. Ace-3 is going to beat an 8, and we end up taking down this pot again before getting moved over to the main game, where now I'm up around $600 so far within the first hour and a half of our session. I've been here for a little bit of time and haven't picked up any big pocket pairs, but that does change now, where there's a call for $5. I get pocket kings and raise to $25. A player next to act makes the call, and then now the early position limper goes all in for a little over $100. My options now are to call and allow the player next to me to call as well, or re-raise again and try to isolate this $130. I'd like to continue to play post-flop here with pocket kings, so I just call trying to invite the player next to me to call, but he folds, and we are all in here, almost $300 in the middle with pocket kings ready to see 5 cards.
Action complete.
The flop of Jack 10-7, not my favorite. He could have made a set, and the river's an ace. Ugly run out for us, but it doesn't matter when I show pocket kings and he shows pocket queens. A pretty sick cooler. Third best hand versus second best hand. We win a small pot here with pocket kings. Our stack is now risen to roughly $2,000, so $800 worth of profit. Not too bad for a couple hours of playing poker, and oddly enough, the very next hand dealt in, I get pocket kings again. Early position raises to 15, 2 calls, I squeeze to 75, and only the button makes the call, who is the same vlog watcher from earlier with Jack-8 of hearts when he semi-bluffed me with a flush draw and straight draw. Heads up out of position to 10-10-9 with 2 hearts. Now this guy is definitely capable of bluffing. He wants to play aggressive. Let's give him a little bit of rope. So I check over to him, and he does bet out $40. This board is a little bit sketchy as well. I don't really want to bloat the pot huge on a board like this. He can have a lot of hands with a lot of equity, so I just make the call here with pocket kings. Turn card double pairs the board with another 9. I check over to him, and now he slows down and checks this one back. River card 3. Think it's close between betting here or checking. I feel like a lot of the time he's going to have missed draws that he can't really call with, or pocket pairs that got counterfeit. I think the best option versus his player type is to check, allow him to bluff, induce him to potentially bluff, so that's what I do, and he fires out a $90 bet. I snap call, and we're not going to chop this one. We're not going to win this one. He's got Jack 10 of clubs, trips on the flop, full house on the turn. Nice hand by my opponent. Kings are cracked. Little unfortunate run out for us. I guess it could have been worse, but he made the vlog 2 hands in a row. Thanks for the content, buddy. You're welcome for my money. I'm getting pretty hungry, so I'm on the search for food. I go outside and see they have a Mexican grill just a couple doors down. I order myself some arroz con pollo. All right, my Spanish is not too good. And then I head back to the poker room after eating that. I pick up a lot of nice playable hands over the next hour to 2 hours, but I don't win any pots. So at one point I was up over $800, lost with pocket kings, lose every hand for the next 2 hours, and now my profit is around $300 or $400. Now a player sits down to my right. He introduces himself, says he watches my vlogs, says he built up his bankroll playing 1-2, and now he has recently started playing 2-5. In this hand, there is a $10 straddle on. My new friend to the right raises to $25, and I've got queen 10 of clubs in the small blind. I want to play this hand aggressively, so I 3-bet to $110 before the straddle player, who has been playing very ABC poker all night, somewhat scared money, cold 4-bets to $230. Back over to my friend here on the button, who folds, and the action's back over on me. Now I know when this guy cold 4-bets to $230 with around $800 in his stack, he just always has aces and kings in this situation. I should just fold my queen 10 of clubs, but poker is pretty easy when you know what your opponent has. I'm almost positive he's got aces and kings. It's just only $120 more. I can't help myself, so I make the call, hoping to get lucky and crack that big pocket pair, but I don't. 4, 5, 7, 2 diamonds, 1 spade. One of the worst flops you can get with queen 10 of clubs. I check. He bets, I very quickly fold, and this ends up being the last hand I play here at Orange City Racing and Card Club. Got a long drive home, met some new friends, made a little bit of money. I end up racking up my chips, heading to the cage, and cashing out for the night. You guys' faces want to be in it?
So,
What's your name?
David.
You guys want to be in it?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Two Davids.
Yeah.
Yeah, David and David.
David and David.
There you go. Thank you. Have a good night. Thanks. Alright guys, that is it for this one. My very first time here at Orange City Racing and Card Club. Before we go over the session results though, I do have a funny situation that literally just happened to me. So as you can see, this card room is in the middle of like a shopping mall complex. There's a bunch of stores around here. It's a huge parking lot, and I'm out here doing my outro outside of the card room. And when I do the outro, sometimes it takes me 5, 10, 15 takes because I want to try to get it perfect. I want to try to get it right. I want the lighting to be good. I want the sound to be good. I don't want to be messing up my words. So sometimes it takes me over and over again. And that's what was happening out here. I'm in the parking lot. I'm taking videos. And some guy comes out of Dollar General. I can see him in the back of my screen because the camera's facing towards me in the selfie mode. And he comes up on my side and he taps me and he goes, "Hey, why are you taking videos of my car, man?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I've been watching you for 5 minutes now. You've been taking videos of my car." And his car was right in front of me. I go, No. I'm making a poker vlog." And he goes, "A poker what?" And I'm like, "I make videos on YouTube. I was just playing poker in here and I'm doing the outro. The camera's facing towards me. It's not facing towards your car. Don't worry." And he's like, "All right, man." And then he drove away. It was pretty hilarious. He was just minding his own business coming out of Dollar General. I was probably watching me thinking like, why is this young kid taking videos of my... And I don't think he's going to be a subscriber. Maybe he'll look up Lexo Poker later on. We'll see. I don't know. But overall, it was a good session. Ended up profiting $137. Was up early on, kind of lost our profit there at the end. Overall, a great card room. It was a lot of action, a lot of tables. The staff was awesome. The dealers were great. The players were really fun and friendly as well. Definitely a fun place to play. Hopefully I'll be able to come back here. One thing I will say is I've been to a lot of casinos, a lot of card rooms all across the country, and I think the playlist that they were playing today for the music was by far the best. It was like early 2000s, late 2000s punk alternative rock, and it was just fun. It was cool to play poker. It was like songs that you don't normally hear when you're playing poker. Usually you hear, you know, just the generic stuff, but this was good. Good playlist here. Overall fun time. I'm exhausted though. I got a long trip home. I went to Jacksonville yesterday, ready to relax. Gonna edit this video. More videos to come. Get me to 60,000 subscribers. We are almost there. Almost. Please like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, I'll see ya.